when you're ready, Papa.
The open book. Say 1,
Allah, Allah.
5, 4, 3.
Good day to you and welcome to the Open Book. Today we get to speak to an ex-footballer who's a coach, a soccer analyst, and an all-round nice guy, a coffee lover as well. I guess that's why me and him are friends, man. He believes that life is too short not to have good coffee. I believe the same thing too. Who are we talking about, man? We're talking about a man who was born out in Freiburg. He's turned Africa Kaizer Chiefs, Mamelodi Sundowns, Morocco Swallows. Not many players can actually say that they've played for those three big teams. He's also just turned out from Maritzburg United as well as Mpumalanga Black Aces towards the end of his career. And here's the one glittering thing about his career. He can say he was part of a South African national team that actually beat Brazil in a official competition. How many players can say that? Not many. Who are we talking about? We're talking about Fabian Mccarthy. Coach McCarthy.
Pabzo.
Shabuzera Chak.
All right, no problem.
This has been a long time coming. Eh?
Yeah, I think you mentioned one team which is the foundation, which is Bloom Celtics.
I was going to get to Bloom Celtic.
Nah.
We're going to get to Bloom
No,
Celtic.
sure.
Because, I mean, and this is Bloom Celtic during the time that the Mulimet.
May his soul rest in peace.
No, we're going to get there.
Sure.
But anyway, I'll tell you, born in Freiburg, and I think one of your junior teams that you played for was Anderlecht.
We started it.
You started that team.
I started it.
Freiburg, I mean, hey, Itumeleng is also from there.
Yeah, he's from Venter, so
Yeah,
it's the northwest.
Kada.
Yeah.
You growing up, Kutlung, and I mean, how many siblings are you guys, and what's life like in Freiburg when you're growing up?
Look, Pops, it's a dorp. You know, one street town where you walk to town via the Mlungu township, you know, like 10, 15 minutes. Even today, my mother, if there's no car at home, she still take a walk to work, which is keeping her active. She doesn't want to stop working. Well, it's keeping her busy.
So your mother's still in Freiburg?
She's still in Freiburg. My eldest brother, the youngest one. We were actually 5 boys.
Sure.
But the one after me passed away. So they tried for another, a girl. And unfortunately, the youngest one it's a boy. So we are 4 boys at the moment. I'm third in the row. And yeah.
All footballers, or are you the only footballer?
Not only footballers. Look, my mother played hockey. My father was a goalkeeper. The 2 eldest brothers are goalkeepers, good hockey players. I tried to play hockey at school.
Sure.
And then I had to decide, hockey, volleyball, football. I said, look, this is where I'm going to be. Let me stay in the 4 lines.
So when Avele, football, or rather sports has always been a part of your life?
Both sides of the family.
Yeah.
Growing up, it was Sundays, it's at the stadium.
School, mischief-wise?
Pops, look, let me not blow my own trumpet and saying all good, rosy.
Yeah.
But not naughty in a way that, you go to the office, you get, sent home, your parents being called in. No. Maybe for coming late in the lineup, after finishing the game, first morning, first break, second break, sometimes we play gambling games. Yeah, for that maybe, But other than that, I think even all my teachers that's been there, that's still around, that I still speak to.
Which school did you go to though?
Kolenda. I started a primary school called Heidi, which is still standing in Freiburg, believe it or not. And then I went to Kolenda Primary, and then Kolenda Senior Secondary School, which is obviously, the high school.
Yeah.
And what was good for me is when I went to preschool, my father's family, my father's mother, the house next door to her was where the driver of the bus was for the preschool. So I was sorted. And then primary school, high school, it was like in between, not far from both granny's homes. And my mother's side of the family, the high school and the primary school was in walking distance.
Yeah.
I mean, not even as far as, the shop they opened here down the road.
Sure.
It's like in between the two robots.
So you're not far away from Koske?
Yeah, no, I never had the luxury of traveling in the bus or going with transport to school, which was easy. You walk and it's good.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Now, Fabes, football. What makes you choose soccer over hockey? Who did you watch, or what happens, for you to say, "I man, this is where I want to be"?
Look, obviously, Pops, my uncles, call them my father's brothers, my mother's brothers, my cousins, family, teachers, they were playing football. That's the main sport in Kasi. Hockey and that, you'll only play there and there, and unless if you go further or make it big. So football was the game you played anywhere, against anyone, with anything that's around, you kick it and stuff. So I think it was in a tournament in Kuruman where I was selected for the school team. This is a senior school team. I just got to high school. That time high school was standard 5.
Yeah.
I just got to high school. I went to trials with my cousin, my eldest brother is the goalkeeper. Just trying my luck, making the team to go on a school trip, to Kuruman. I'll never forget it. And then there was this thing, I was in the lineup. I saw my name, on the school, the wall, the door, where they put your name. But then underneath says, if you haven't paid your school fees yet, you can't make it on the bus tomorrow for this tournament and stuff. So, eating the school fees when you have to go pay it.
Exactly. Okay.
So I was running around. Luckily, the football coach, the teacher, went to him and explained the story to him to say, "Hey, mister, I ate the money now. I can't, ask my mother. When school finish here, I won't be able to get to a work, come back and pay." And so can you, that time I think it was 10 rand, Pops. School fees.
That's it.
Yeah.
Did you start out as a defender?
No, not at all. I start out, believe it or not, those days there was a 7, there was a 9, and there was 11, front 3. And then there's the midfielders, your number 6, your number 8. So I was playing right wing, believe it or not. In that school tournament, I played as a right wing, where I think my cousin, he got top goal scorer. He scored 8 or 9 goals in the tournament. But overall, I created most of the goals for him and the other guys. We won that school tournament. And, after that, my uncle that was owning the team Anderlecht and the one that was coaching, the one was there at the tournament. He was watching the whole tournament, everything. And I never played at my amateur team, Anderlecht, because I was one of the youngest, but always there, first, leave last, carrying balls, those old school routine of growing up, following, the elder cousins, the brothers, looking up to them, making sure, when somebody forgot the shin guards, you that are on the bench, you must always, take off and give and sit and be on the bench. And from that school tournament, the Sunday we played a game. This one uncle told the owner, which is my godfather, and say, "Look, this Muna, I saw him, he's ready. Let's put him in." He put me in. Ever since, I never sat on the bench for my amateur team again, from that school tournament.
Anderlecht, and then you move to, you don't move to Bloemfontein Celtic as yet.
No.
You're still doing, your youth academies and
Yeah.
the clubs and everything else. Who discovers you and says, "Hi, man, here we can turn professional"?
Pops, not academy. There was no academy. From Anderlecht, obviously, I moved to Leicester City in Klerksdorp. I played there a season or 2. One of my friends, Cosmo, signed him, I think, in 95 or so. But then I joined Leicester City, and then there was a money issue thing. Jomo didn't wanted to pay all those things. But I there's few people that discovered me, but in the end, I think it was all based on me, looking at guys that were there, making it, how they go about the business. Why did some of them fail? The same guy, teammate I talked about that signed for Cosmos.
Sure.
I recruited him from school games.
Okay.
He was in a school in the Indian area, which was called Kismet, semi-private school. So I recruited him there and said, "Look, come play for this amateur team," because he was good in athletics, very quick, very fast, good, strong body. made him a goalkeeper. He played striker. When he ended up at Cosmos, he was playing as a right back. You know, Jomo was using him in that way. So it was a good, long 2-year journey.
Sure.
But I think what made me realize it when Coach X Mashaba came to the Northwest, especially to Freiburg. Luckily for me, you know, they had a week-long trials with this United Bank Challenge. So out of the Northwest boys, by then I think we were 100 or 120. I was selected as the best player, and then I made the national under-20 team. Then this was in my matric year, so you know it was that challenge and stuff. And then I came to Chiefs for trials at the reserve team end of 1994. Obviously wanting to be signed by the reserve team, coached then by Jan Malombo Leshaba. I stayed behind Carlton Center for 95, from January up, I think up until Easter. And I refused to go to a school in Eldos for some reason, I don't know. You know, I wanted to be in a private school, whatever. And it didn't work out, so I went home, I finished my matric. Even when the national team was traveling under 20, I refused some of the trips, you know, where I was writing exams.
Sure.
They were traveling to Mauritius, all these places, and then I finished matric, and then that's where I think there was a 2-year time period where I was testing, going for trials, playing here, playing there. But luckily all worked into plan, you know. I worked also for a few years, perhaps 96.
Sure.
At Standard Bank in Simmons Street, the second eldest brother worked at Standard Bank. I also worked there for about 3 months.
Sure.
You know, home loans, doing this filing thing and stuff. But, you know, we were staying in Annandale. My mother's brother is still staying there. And traveling and stuff from there. I didn't train, you know. I get up early, 5 o'clock, 5:30, catch the bus, go home. And then I just decided to say, no. Look, they didn't make me permanent, but they said 3 months. After that, we'll see or you must carry on. Yeah. So they said, nah, another month or so. So I said, no, I'm going home.
Football is with you. But now, Fabs, I need to just go back here on this point. You are selected in the under-20 squad, national team that is, right? National team coached by the great Shakes Mashaba. They're traveling overseas. A lot of young footballers, that's what they want. You are refusing that. What makes you be so, you know, headstrong and steadfast in that I am going to focus on my schooling and complete my schooling?
Look, Pops, it's obviously maybe the background from the place where I'm coming from, the family, you know, your mother, she's not somebody that will make noise or talk, but when she asks something, you kind of sit and say. And also my mentor, Bismarck Appels, he was actually the one who was transporting me from Klerksdorp to Joburg for Chiefs trials, anything. I met him in a tournament in Mafikeng, Easter tournament. I was player of the tournament and all those things. That's how I met him, but through his brother. And today he's like my mentor. He's playing a father figure role in my life. I mean, he played a part, not in developing my football, but believing in me and saying, look, I'm not going to give up until you reach a certain age. That's maybe where he's seen something from me. I moved from Freiburg. I stayed with him and his family for almost 2 years, you know, trying to get my clearance from Leicester City, all those things, challenges. Yeah. I almost ended up becoming a diesel mechanic because he was into transport. He had buses, you know, on the mines in Klerksdorp. Then I was washing the buses. I was carrying all these tools, diesel spanners, diesel overall or so. But I think that was part of finding myself, learning to say, look, it's not going to be easy, do this, do that, do this thing. But this man had a belief and say, come here, stay here, at least from Klerksdorp to Johannesburg or wherever. Yeah. It's easier, it's convenient until, you know, Freiburg, transport from Freiburg there. There's no straight routes like then. You need to jump Ottersdal, Del Rey, here, there. So, yeah, I think that 2 years was a time for me to say, look, I want to play football. And I have to make it happen with all these advisors. Yeah. The same guy, Bismarck, I mentioned, his brother was trialing at Swallows. He actually was a close friend to Brendan Silent, the time Brendan signed for Pirates. He was supposed to sign for Swallows.
Yeah.
So he was studying in the Val. He met his wife, then girlfriend, his wife now. She fell pregnant. He had to get married. All those things and decisions he had to make. So this is where this guy, Bismarck, played the part in saying to me, you have to make certain decisions which you're going to have to sacrifice to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And look, I'm not glad that I made those decisions. It took me 2 years to break into the professional ranks. So there was a reason for everything, and I believe that things happen for a reason.
2 years and you had an illustrious career, Fabs. I mean, not many can say you had a very, 20 years, as a professional player. And as I mentioned earlier on in the introduction, you were part of what I like to call an elite team of players. We're going to get talking about that. I just need to find out the switch from being a right wing to the defender. Who says to you, Fabian, come and defend?
Look, the same guy, Bismarck, where he was making always a big team, playing tournaments, going to, there was one tournament he took us to in PE, the Easter tournament, where the Den Park United, Blackpool, those teams were playing in. And we went there, we played, and I think that time he was slowly converting me. But I was always willing to stand in when there was no player there or player to cover, whatever. I think probably people seen that the vision or the composure I had. And the same guy, Bismarck, when he played me in his team, he played me as a center midfielder. Pops, believe it or not, I used to score goals. Being it from outside or create that pass or, and then slowly but obviously, surely, I think at Anderlecht still, when the guys were injured or there was nobody to play there, I would suggest and say, no, let me slot in, let me play there. And because of maybe the way I read the game, the vision, the communication, the organization standing, I thought, look, this was my position. And actually, when I was in the under-20 squad, Shakes was playing me right back then, which obviously I was familiar with, playing on that side, moving, playing, creating space, or coming in, or just organizing it. So it was easy for me to slot in there. And I just made it my position, and I enjoyed it. As slow as I am, but I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it, Joe, and I'm glad you touched on the speed thing, because later on, it became kind of like where people would be up and some, no matter, especially the central defense pairing, Patrick Mabedi, to a certain extent you and Puth as well. Not the fastest of pairings and everything else, but as you say, your reading of the game, your positioning and all those kind of things, it almost just kind of made you impenetrable, in telling times. But now Celtic, at that time and everything else, there used to be this thing, late 90s, early 2000s and everything else, that if you are playing outside of Gauteng, Johannesburg or so, it's very difficult for you to get into the national team. Playing at Celtic at that time, did you ever think, I would make it into the national team, or I now need to move to Gauteng for me to do that?
To be honest with you, I never wanted to leave Celtics.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think the call up to the national team with Coach Shakes, my mother organized trials for me at Celtics.
Yeah.
That time there was no cell phones, there was no this. You need to send a fax from the office to the office, speak to the guy in the Celtics office and that. So my mother organized the trials for me, Pops, at Celtics. Luckily for me, there was 2 Munas from Freiburg, from Kasi, that were playing for Celtics already. Okay. So the one that was a defender, we used to play together, Cardi December games, we make mixed teams, or the district or provincial team. So I know him as a center back also, Tapelo Yawa. And then that week, they invited me for trials. He was suspended, And I left with one of my closest friends, still a friend, Jomo, is from Kasi, very skillful, intelligent. Reason why he didn't make it, I still don't know why. But I grabbed him along and said, Autiak, come with me.
Celtic.
There they speak Sutu, when you Tswana. So, today he speaks fluent Afrikaans.
Yeah.
And when he speaks to me, he doesn't want to catch up on my Sutu or Tswana. He just say, no, I'm all right, you teach me this. But I went there, Pops. got a lift from Freiburg to Kimberley, catch the train 5 a.m., 5 p.m. Monday morning. You know, these trains.
Yeah.
Cake Makar. Yeah. You know, there's no what. From Kimberley to Bloom. There was a school friend of mine, they were studying, you know, in Bloom, already second year at Tech, you know, stayed by them with Jomo, organized with the transport, everything. We go. When I got to Celtic, started training, Percent Serati, we were playing small-sided games and stuff. Now I like to score in those games goals because I know in official games I hardly get a chance to celebrate or so. So we were playing. Now I was on the side with this moon. I was saying, no, whatever team they're gonna pick, I'm suspended. So I'm gonna play with you. This one is dead. This one. He was guiding me nicely. We were playing. I still remember the Thursday 5-a-side tournament. You know, with the late Peter Nyama. May his soul rest in peace. Pops, I think most of the people that contributed to my thing, they late. You know, being it a team manager, being it a coach, being it somebody that just, you know, take you and put you there. And the uncle that actually started Anderlecht, he's also late. I think he passed away with cancer, but he was the man that says, come early to training, leave last, discipline. He said, just hang in there. Don't worry if you play now or you play tomorrow or what, but these are the basics. And the uncle that took over from them, which was my godfather, he came with the same motivation, motto. Pops, but that week at Celtics, we were playing Thursday afternoon, 11v11. This is now for the coach to pick a team to go for the weekend. So I was playing the other 11, you know, those that want to try and make the bench.
Yeah.
So this outie of mine, Tapelo, was playing with me at the back. So he was telling me, there was a striker from Congo, was here, Willie Mwanza, tall guy, bold. He said, look, this Muna, he's only got the left foot. If you mark him that side, or if you jump in, you know, he was guiding me nicely.
Sure.
And I think, if I can recall, this outie actually made it easy for them to sign me. Because that game, he never scored any goal. You know? Just the way, the striker, that I was marking. Obviously, then they'll say, when you go man marking, I will play. Because he knows he's just there to guide and to play because he's out suspense. So, well, the game was good. I enjoyed it. It was nice. Everybody was happy, you know, met some of the new Owens. They could see me now in an official game. So the Friday morning, it was now just touch up and go, preparing the team. They leaving. So this guy, Bering Kulwani, is late now also. Big guy, used to work for Kappa, then Ria Stars. He came to me after training. We were training at Grootvlei prison. That's where I met Gaten Mckenzie. At that prison during that time. So he said to me, Emuna, how are you? I need your clearance. You know, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
When do you need it? He said, no. The team is traveling today. Nobody's training tomorrow or Sunday. Monday morning, please bring it. Come to the office. Now, where I was standing, Pops, my clearance was still with Leicester City.
So you have to go back to
Klerksdorp. Now I'm thinking, this guy didn't want to give Jomo my clearance. He doesn't want to give me my clearance to go play in for another team. In then, I think the Vodacom League, because it was MTN Vodacom, which is now ABC Motsepe.
Sure.
So it was like, as I walk from this team manager going to change, I'm like saying, how am I going to get my clearance? Now you know, Pops, transport from Bloom to Freiburg. No, to Freiburg first. There's no way. You must go via Kimberley again. Sharp. Luckily, the guy that gave me a lift from Freiburg, Monday morning, he's working in Kimberley, but he's going to Freiburg every weekend. I said, hey, now, I said to him, Joman, hey, out here, we need to get to Kimberley, like in now. Pops, I didn't even wash after training. I was first in the transport because we had one Kumbi, E20, where that Kumbi will make trips. It's either the guys from Molimela Hotel are going first, or they go last, or the guys that are staying outside, you know, in
Outside.
town, Heidedal or so, with no transport, you jump in, you know, Abu Hendrik Aris, Willem Vries, you know, those were the senior guys, which obviously they'll wash at home and what. So we jump in that Kumbi, first load, get home, change. I told this out his chance. I'm going home. Is there something you need or something you sent? I pack, we hike from Bloom to Kimberley. Luckily, we got there in time. That Audi picked us up at the spot going to Freiburg. So we're good to go. Friday getting to Freiburg, I'm not talking, I'm not telling anybody. But I told Jomi, I trust him, I know he's not going to say anything. I went to my uncle that owns Anderlecht to say, look, this is the situation. I don't have money. And I know this guy in Klerksdorp will want money. So Bismarck already said to me, look, he wants so much. All you do is, I know he likes money, this guy. Come with the money, come with your uncles from both teams. You know, there was the family team, Eagles, which my uncles played for, my grandfather's team, from my mother's side. And then there was Anderlecht, which was formed actually from Eagles, because they were like a family, cousins, you know, uncles. But this one uncle said, look, let me start with this team. They actually wanted to call us Young Eagles, but then we look at all the leagues, you know, that time and said, look, I think this name will suit us. Anderlecht from Belgium. We took the name from them. We went on pubs. They agreed to borrow me 1,000 rand, Anderlecht, my former team. So I said to my uncles, my mother's brother, brother-in-law, his swar, and then the one uncle that was the coach of Anderlecht, the one that was at the school tournament in Kimberley. It's him. So it's the three of them, it's me. And then I was out here, I was at school with. You know, we finished school, they bought him this City Golfs. I met him the Saturday morning. I said, out here, because his mother and my mother were working at the same company. So I met him in the morning. I said, out here, I need transport. Can you please take me to Klerksdorp this afternoon? There's an appointment. I need to go get this thing. That Muna didn't even think twice, because he knows I was in for football. I wanted to play. I was with him from grade 1 till what is grade 8, grade 10. You know, 10.
Standard 8 is grade 10.
Yeah. So I had maths and science, and they were in the science class. So I had to change and go to geography, history, business economics, because at least there you can miss a week and catch up, you know. So that was the thing. So it was out from school. I asked him, he said, no, my brother, look, I'm not busy. All I'll have to do is, I'll just have to pick my mother up at 1, drop her at home, then we can bounce. Just put petrol in the car. I'm good to go, you know, no stress. It's fine, everything is all right. We got into the car pubs, we drove to Klerksdorp. I think we met that timer at his shop, 3:30, 4. Now my uncles, the two, they you know, they shire. So they still wanted to go chill by their friends there. And I said, no chance. We can't do this.
We have a very important matter here.
Let's go there first, sort it out. We walk into the shop. I saw that timer. I didn't want to greet him, you know, because that time I had this thing to say, this Muna is holding me back. And you know how it's natural where you say. I greeted him. The uncles spoke. They said, no, look, we're going to form one team, and we're going to play in the same league where you guys are playing in the Northwest. So which means we'll play against them. And I'm now going to move back to Freiburg and what. He doesn't know of Celtics, anything. He said 750. They negotiate. They said, fine, okay, that's the fee. I just look at the one. I said, take out the money. He's taking out the book, letterhead. He's writing out the clearance. You know, Pops, as he was writing there, I'm standing there, I'm looking. He said he can join any team of his choice. that was it. The money went. He folded it up, we read it, put it in a letter, shook hands, he said, thank you. I said, bye-bye. As we walk out to the door of the shop, I took the clearance from my one uncle. I put it here. As we walked to the car, I said, guys, please get you guys 6 beers or 12.
Sure.
But I told it out there, I said, Autiak, we're going back home now. Tell them you have to see your Medi, or your mother said you must be home by 6.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a 1.5 hour, less than 2 hours drive from Klerksdorp to Freiburg. The road wasn't nice that time or so. So I said out there, tell them, and you don't want to drive at night, you see, because you just got your license last year.
Yeah.
So they bought in for it, pops. Went home. When I got home, I gave it to my mother. I said, Autis was saying, hey, Gazi, let's go. There's this function, this. I said, Chance, no.
Not now.
I mean, I'm all right.
Not now.
I can't wait for Monday morning to go to Bloom. Sunday, pops, church, what, lunch, eat. I didn't even go and watch. The guys wanted me to play. I said, no, Chance. I'll come and watch. No, why? Now I said, Chance, no, I'm all right. I can come and watch, and help, maybe water boy or so, and then, say, sharp Chance, I'm going back. The Monday morning, same way again, left with this outie, Kimberly. This time taxi now, because at least I got some spending. Taxi.
Bloom.
Yeah, Bloom. I got off at the taxi rank in town. And then I took a taxi to Molemela Hotel straight. Waiting for the office to open. The driver went to go look for me where I stayed. When they opened the office, I was sitting there waiting for the timer to open.
Fabes, here you are now. You now get to be signed by Bloemfontein Celtics. And as you were saying, this kind of like becomes your foundation in an introduction into professional football. Shakes Mashaba is then given the reins to coach the under-23 squad that goes to the first ever Olympics that South Africa competes in. He names his squad. Now, I think at this time when he names his squad, Benny Mccarthy is playing overseas. Quentin Fortune is playing overseas. You've got Emil Peron, I think at the time, was also playing overseas. Aaron Mokoena as well. He's overseas. Matthew Booth is on his way, to getting an overseas contract. The glamour boys of South African football. Jabu Pule, Jabu Mahlangu right now. Steve Lukole is in the team. Patrick Mbutu as well is in the team. When you get the call that you are going to Sydney, where are you and what happens?
Perhaps before I got that call, that I'm making the squad for Sydney. Remember we played All Africa games?
Yeah.
Remember Shakes knows me from then.
Oh, from the under-20 squad, yeah.
There was a game which George Dienele always remind me of. We played Cape Town City at Lone Stadium, Friday night. Bloom Celtics, Cape Town City. I think Sean Bartlett came back from loan from the States to sign for them there. I played. I didn't know Bani Kujani and them were coming there to watch me. Obviously, Shakes knows me, and we were staying in contact because he also used to coach Leicester City before he came, So we were still in contact and all those things. So I played this Friday night. I think I had a good game, which obviously after that game, they gave me a call up to the under-23 team where I'll be coming for trials. I think Ashley Makanya was then there also as a captain or so from the under-20 squad. Chapi Mutale, all these guys. So I came for trials at, I think it was Esland Park. First training session, playing. Coach Mike Ntombela was the assistant coach then. That's why I still call him coach today.
Sure.
I think that week I had a good week. Obviously was focused. I was with guys like Abraham Manteo, Ace Gulwa from Celtics, Then, perhaps, I think I made a team, which obviously I wasn't a regular in the team because, Ashley Makanya was there, he was the captain, and Matthew between them. Kipiteni Matombo was still there, David Kanameo was there. There was a defense was...
Kanameo at this time he's playing for Chiefs.
No,
he wasn't playing for Chiefs.
He was at Ajax.
Yeah.
He was at Ajax still, I think he was at Ajax still before he moved to Chiefs. Pele was in the squad. There was a whole lot of guys in this. Chris Weber, Bradley August, Glenn Solomon, Dylan Shepard, all those guys. They were already playing for, like you said, your Gauteng teams or your established teams, big teams. Well, I just had fun. I enjoyed myself at Celtics Pubs. I signed a contract which I think, believe it or not, I don't know, was it 750 what I was getting a month or 1,000 rand? But that never bothered me or stopped me from that. After signing, I got my copy. I told this Yawa outie, two friends, let's go. I'm gonna make a braai. I have, I think 160 change. I said, I don't care what am I gonna eat this month or what I need.
But we're celebrating.
But today I'm gonna celebrate and I'm saying thank you to you because you made it easy for me. Give them a braai. I think Pops that time, you know, is this box beers?
Yeah.
The carton box. I think it was 25 rand or something. 12. I bought meat, everything now. My outies that was studying, they also drink.
Yeah.
So I got the hour. I made my debut, obviously, against Pirates on a Wednesday night. When I came on, they protest because they know, thinking I still belong to Leicester. I didn't have my clearance. Mjomani was also protesting to say that, look, he doesn't believe that Celtics bought me from this team, what. But
because he had a problem.
He wanted to get me and stuff, and they were giving problems. So I kept it. They said, no, let's leave it. Let's put you out a bit. Let's fight this case and make sure, you know, everything is sharp. Anglican, which is same WhatsApp group. There's not much of a difference. Speak to the, say, father, you know, the pastor. Had a chat with him. Went to my father's church, had a chat with the father also. And as I was sitting and saying, went home, I said to my mother, you know what? If I want to make it in this game, I'm going to either do one or two things. It's either I'm going to jive when it need to be jive, or if I say no now, I might say, Muna is not playing. Simon Hopani is always playing, but this Muna is performing. He's on top of his game. You know, he doesn't.
But he never gets to play.
He's in the team, but he never plays. Even if Simon get a knock, or you can see he's forcing now, they won't play. So this time I was saying to me, look, don't let this Muna influence you. I said, no. This out is not influencing me. We're talking. We don't have culture, Tina. I'm saying that as in, it's either you follow what, or you follow what the grandfathers or the uncles or this were doing. But to cut it, the long story short, Pops, I sat with him, I chatted with him, I said, look, I decided now, I'm going to do one or two things. If my kit is wet or the socks is wet or whatever, I'll play in it. If you said I must wash my feet there also, I'm going to do it. But I'm not going to drink anything that I don't know. And you're not going to cut me or do funny stuff. I'll play. If the socks is wet, I'll play with it. If you want my boots, I know I have enough boots. That time I was with Puma. Talking of Puma, I was sponsored by Puma.
Yeah.
I give you the training boots. If you do your thing, when we go out, I put on I put on my boots that I come from home with because it's the same.
Yeah.
You won't see the difference. Then I think after the Pirates game, I was out, and then I played against Val Professionals, where I met Neil Johnson. Walked up to me and said, boss, I don't know, but I like you. Please, stay focused, work hard. There's something, if I can get you to play with me in Val Pros, I'll do it tomorrow. So we called Willem Fries, Hendrik Aris, the senior guys, Abu Simon, they know each other most. He said, Chance, please, if you don't look after this lady, then I won't, our friendship won't be the same.
You won't be on the same level.
And that, so I was like shocked and say, hey, this Muna is coming from nowhere, saying this season player, campaigner. And after that, we become friends, to say, look, is there out there I can speak to? Or when we meet, we chat, we find out when they there or there. One of the closest football friends where he ended up supporting me when he stopped playing. Phone me after games, come watch my games, especially when I was at Chiefs. I visit him. And Pubs, I think those are people that I'm saying you met in the game, which are true. But
become your true friends,
these other ones, no.
Yeah.
All fake friends, my brother.
I want to go back to...
Wait first, I think I didn't tell you about Celtics, the Olympic.
Yeah.
Then after all Africa games, I got an invitation to go to Cyprus.
Okay.
To sign for Poland Limassol.
Yeah.
I signed a 6 months loan, Pops. 6 months loan. The team was rebuilding. We were only 5 professionals there. If we train in the morning, all these youngsters that are coming from the from the academy league, they need to go to the army. So they train for 1 hour in the morning, then they leave, they go to, that routine. So the coach was from Sweden. He signed me on the first day at training. Pops, I don't know, then $5,000 US. It's money, I don't know how much was it.
I mean, you were getting 1,000 at Celtic. 1,000 a month.
No. I think after 3 months, Pops, it went up.
At Celtic?
Yeah, it went up. I think that time I was getting 3.5. The old man was just calling me in and said, no, I'm increasing. I never argue or fight for that. So I went there. Mike Mccarthy was my agent. We went on pre-season to Czech Republic. We were touring all these things. Now, the president of the club is telling the coach or the team manager to say that I won't be able to join the Olympic team preparing for the Olympics. Yeah. Remember where the 1 month camp at Estland Park, soccer, but all the sports codes where you have to do your test, they have to check, are you fine here, are you? So Safa replied to say, look, if you're not coming to the camp, you won't be able to go to the Olympics. So here was a situation where I say, do I cancel the 6 months loan contract, go to the Olympics, represent my country, take it from there. If other teams come, if nobody comes. Spoke to Mike Mccarthy, spoke to Bismarck, my mentor. I had a brief chat with my mother, not really, So, Pops, Czech Republic, I was there, we're playing these friendly games. They hit us 5-7-1. I was like saying, no, man, I'm still young for this. I'm not happy on the field, but I'm happy off the field. The money is good. Yeah. The city is good, Apollon in Cyprus. And everything was nice. You go out in the evening, But I said, no, man, I'm here for football. I have to be happy on the field of play. So in Czech Republic, one morning I woke up after chatting, getting the mails or stuff, the letters in between Safa, the team, Mike Mccarthy, and that. I said, no. I said, I'm not going to miss this opportunity. I want to go to the camp. Yeah. Coming to see the guys and what. So they were fighting and arguing and said, look, if you go, then you don't have to come back. All those things, Pops. I said to them, you know what? It's fine.
I want to go to
I've decided I'm leaving. I'm going to the Olympics and I'm going to honor this camp. Call up to the camp and what. Hey, Pops, I had to buy my own ticket.
To come back.
Luckily, I stayed in the apartment till they gave me time. And the guy that was driving me around, he was helpful. Take me here, take me there, while the team was still in Czech Republic. I bought some stuff, clothes, these things. I had to sell it or even just give it away to get my ticket. I think Stiga borrowed me money. Other uncle of mine borrowed me money to just get my ticket. A guy that was there, he had family in South Africa. He said, no, look, let me help you. Let me get you the ticket.
Whole club versus country type of thing. And from the outside, as fans, we thought, man, these ones, they just, they think they've made it. They think they're big or whatever may be, choosing which games to go and play and all those kind of things. We never really do understand, like you just said right now, club president said, you will not go. You will not go to that camp. If you do go, consider this, cancelled and everything else. And you don't need to sit and think of your family. You don't need to sit and think of yourself, your future and all those kind of things. As you say, $5,000, versus 2,000 or 3,000 rand, that's a big difference. Against Japan. You play Brazil your second game. And I remember that Lukoli also scored on that day. That's the starting 11. SA under 23. Before that, and I think even after that, there's no South African team that's beat a Brazilian team in an official game. In a competition, that is.
Yeah, no, there isn't, Pops. And going into that game, I think Coach Shakes was suspended.
Yes.
So Kenny Ndlazi was coming in. But, Pops, I think the spirit in that team was, I think, so unreal.
Mm.
Ourselves, we couldn't believe it. When we were in camp, we had 2 kumbis, which was branded Amatluk Sasa.
Yes.
We're staying at Mill Park Holiday Inn. So if you're off or you get afternoon off, those 2 kumbis will only go 2 places. It's either you go to Sandton Mall, Sandton City, or you go to Southgate. You know?
Sure.
So that was how we were. And check and you see we are all together.
Everybody is there.
So we had I think the spirit what was great. That game of Brazil, if I can recall the starting lineup, Emil, myself and Matthew, Aaron Mukwena
Yeah.
was playing right back. David Kaname left back. In front of us, Abraham and Theo, Quentin Fortune, Delron Barkley on the left.
Yeah.
On the right, I think Chipa came on. But you know, leading up to that game, there was this arrogance that Quentin had to say, we can beat these guys. You know, coming obviously with that mentality, yeah, United and Roy Keane, all that, you know, he said, no, we can beat this team, guys. Let's go. We're watching that free kick, Pops. As I was standing right behind, I could see everything. And that man was so confident. He kissed the ball, he put it down, he walked back. When it went in, I think that's when most of us realized to say, this team, we can beat them. You know?
By the way, this is the Brazil team. I need to mention this. Ronaldinho is in that team.
He was there, Pops.
The great Ronaldinho is in that team.
He became a strong, good Brazilian team. And you know what? The only people that supported us out in that whole stadium, except our guys that were not part on the bench or so, was the Nigerian team that was sitting up there. Because for every goal, the stadium was silent. It was only them celebrating, Brashakes and those guys that were there with him there, you know, Bani Kuchani, those members. And that was the only team. But Pops, you know, I think where we lost it, I think we thought that the last game would be. Brazil went all the way to the final. Luckily, Nigeria beat them, you know, that year. And yeah, Pops, it was sad, man, because after we lost that game, we had to get out of Australia in the next 48 hours.
Yo, yeah, ne. Can we talk partnerships here? I think we mentioned it briefly earlier on. You move from Celtic to Mamelodi Sundowns. You get to play with Matthew Booth at the back and everything else. By the way, Mamelodi Sundowns. In Egypt, yeah.
Hey, you know, not only Lovers, I think the late Dimitri also. May his soul rest in peace.
Hey, man.
You know?
Master tactician like
yeah, but I think also he was one that he started that thing to say that if it wasn't also for the penalty, you wouldn't have conceded so many goals. And I think if you look at the video today, I wish they had VAR then. It wasn't a penalty. You know what I'm saying? You know the Egyptians and diving and all that. But look, it happens. It was a great experience. And I think also that Mamelodi Sundowns team, there was another team that had the great and good team spirit, Pops. And you know, while I was at the Olympics, I told the guys like Shaful, Brian Baloy, Stiga, I said, Auti, I'm coming home. I'm no more going back to Cyprus, blah, blah, blah. So they were then trying, the players never, it's only Jackson. You know, he sold David Modise, Benjamin Reed to Chiefs and stuff. They didn't make it and all those things. So he said, look, Charles Mutlu just went to Sundowns. And they're looking after him. He's playing regularly and stuff. I said to him, look, I don't want to leave. But if you feel I need to leave and you give me that handshake, that blessing to say, go here, because these people are offering so much and so much, and I need all those things. I said, I'm good to go. I didn't want to leave Celtics by then, because before I left for Cyprus, I just became captain. You know, by then, I think the late Styles Pumo, you know, may his soul rest in peace. That's why I said, you know, there's a lot of
the guys have
you
played
know,
a good role.
To say, and I said, no, I'm coming back. You know, can I come back? He said, no, anytime and blah. And I explained to him why I left Cyprus, you know, reason being I wasn't happy. I wasn't going to learn much. I wasn't going to improve at that stage. And when I came to the camp, Pops, I had to remove 4 wisdom tooth. Otherwise, I wasn't going to be fit to go to the Olympics.
Sure.
You know, so I was out like for a week, but I was here, I was part of the team, I was with the guys. And financially, I regretted it few years after that, you know, because it obviously infected my mother, where I was sending her money, which, you know, when it converted, it was like, you know,
That was
so
a lot.
much. Where you getting the money from? There's all, you know, all those things. But I think, obviously, for me, it was not missing out on the Olympics. And you talk of other countries, it's even worse, like in England. You know, a guy perform 1-2 games, you come back, you're out of the team. To any World Cup team, because obviously I was competing with Tigers, you know, your Mark Fish, Lucas Radebe, Frank Skuman,
And that was the thing about you.
you know.
You playing at that time, and I think, you know, it was the unfortunate thing was, it seemed that Safa did not believe in the young guys, you know, as much as what it would be right now. At that time, I mean, 22, 23, 24 even, as you say, Lucas Radebe is there, Neil Tovey is there, you know, Mark Fish is there, and all those kind of things. So your time at Chiefs, Fabes, I think you stayed there the longest at Chiefs. And a lot of people get to know you from Kaiser Chiefs and everything else, even the number 6. How do you get to choosing that number, you know, and what's the significance of number 6?
Pops, let's go back to that Kuruman trip. Remember the coach of the high school team?
Yeah.
The same teacher that was a coach that I went to and asked for that 10 rand to
For him
pay
to
my
allow you to
school
go on,
fees and stuff. He was playing with my uncles for my grandfather's club. And he borrowed kit from them. I won't forget it. It's a white set, plain white, which they got sponsored from Midas. Now you know white with that Midas sign and
Yeah.
thingy. And he was wearing number 6. And my uncle, my father's brother, that's just after my father, I'm very close with him. Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, he works. His favorite number, it's also number 6. So, Pops, we were sitting in these buses, you know, these buses that doesn't have the luxury, not the Patco buses.
Yeah.
You know, there's no toilets, there's no, if you stand in front, you see everybody. I'm sitting at the back, in the middle. Here comes the teacher with the kid bag. We need to now get dressed in the bus at the back of the grandstand, the stadium. But he has this T-shirt now in his hand. But he's bringing the kit to the captain and say, look, you know the team, let the guys. He gave him. He walked straight to me. He just said, look, I want you to play in this T-shirt. I said, why? He said, no, I don't want these other guys to play in this T-shirt because, you know, he said, and you are starting. So I'm looking and saying, I said, yo, I'm the youngest here. I'm obviously going to bench again. You know, all these guys have been in the team they've been at high school for a few years. He said, no, be ready. You are starting. He said, go out and enjoy yourself. Just go and enjoy. As you walk back, the captain has the team list. Kit now. I look at the jersey, so I'm turning it around. And here I'm looking at this number saying, okay, this is his T-shirt.
The coaches?
Yeah, he gave it to me to say play in it. He didn't want any of the other guys to play with this jersey. Now, you know then, Pops, it's your number, identify your position. To say, if you wear number 6, you play in the middle. If you wear 10. Number 10, you play there. If you 9, you there. If you 11, you know. So I went, I played with this T-shirt. And then I just started falling in love with the number. Sure. You know. So even if you look at my professional career, I played for 6 teams. Amateur, I played for 6 teams. But Anderlecht was the main team where I started and I left. And perhaps hopefully when I coach, I'm not going to coach more than 6 teams.
No, you definitely.
So that's me.
Yeah,
that's me.
You're gonna get to coach.
That's the label and the thing. You know, the pics I sent you to say, look, I'm this Muna.
That number 6, as I say, you know, it's become very significant. You know, with Fabian Mccarthy and just who you are and who you became. I'm looking at just some of the pictures that we got earlier on of you playing at Chiefs. I think over the years that you were there, what, 5-6 seasons that you were there?
6. There the 6 is coming in again.
John Shoes Mushe was in there. You know, you get to play with the John Shoes Mushe. You get to play with the Ndubisani. Sorry, with the Skarangobese, Cyril Nzama. You know, all these guys. You and Derek Spencer. I think that pairing at some point, it did not start off, you know, as being the best pairing, but with time, obviously that understanding when you guys do build it, you know, it became just one of the best and everything else. When you move from one team to the other, the possibility of you coming up against your old teammates is always higher. Is it easier or more trickier to prepare, you know, for a team coming up against, you know, Mamelodi Sundowns? Remember when you had Maritzburg United, when you guys knocked out Mamelodi Sundowns in that one thing?
Pops, I think that's the last goal I scored.
Yeah, you scored it.
Professional. And you know, it's strange and funny how that happened. Brian was in goals. It's my outie.
You played with him at Chiefs.
Matthew Booth is there.
Yeah.
Sianda Tulu, which obviously I think for me, he's still one of the best defenders for me. And it's a boy, I'm not saying I groomed him, but I had time for him when he was at the Academy of Chiefs. I had coffee with him. I chat to him there and then. Even now in this stage, when Mushin was there, I tried to get connected with him to explain to him and set him down to say how this coach is. And, you know, when he left Chiefs, I tried to keep him there. But nonetheless, so strange. Matthew wanted to mark me. You know, there was there.
He scored that goal.
Yeah, and I heard Sia was saying, no, leave him. I want to mark him. So I was just like saying, well, it's fine. I knew if Kulu comes, I'm going to stand a chance here because, you know, with Dumlungu, it's difficult. As tall as he is, he doesn't jump very high. But yeah, if you try and jump very close to him, you're not going to win the ball and chances of it. So he said, fine, no, take him. I said, this is it. As he was looking at me, Tulu, I was looking at the ball, you know, and I just went there and I went in. Obviously, you know.
Because that whole thing, I think you possibly just took a step back.
I went a step back. And
yeah, you took a step back and he jumped. Obviously,
no, he was looking at me,
yeah,
wanting to move to me. But when I took a step back, I was coming in front of him. So you see, when I even connected with the ball, he was on this side, which was he was watching me and where he was supposed to watch the ball,
sure,
and at least keep me away from the target, which obviously comes with, you know, the experience and defending. And Pops, I think that was it. I scored that goal. I had a good game. I won man of the match. It was my last goal.
And that celebration, yeah.
You know, that one is from the real R9.
Yeah.
Ronaldo. You know, he had challenges with the weight and everything and stuff. But every time he came on, he proved those that say he's overweight, he can't run, he's doing that. He proved them to say every time he's shy, one goal. It's finished. Accommodation allowance, they gave me accommodation allowance because I refused to stay at the clubhouse. Even at Celtics, I refused to stay at Molimela Hotel or the house. You know, I stayed with family or with people. You know, even when I came to Sundowns, I stayed with Stiga and his family. When I went to Chiefs, I stayed with the family up until a certain time. I moved out. I moved back to the family, rent my place. Natasha was saying, look, I'm not going to give you accommodation anymore or that allowance because you're 2 years in Johannesburg. You must be used to it and that. They offered me a 2-year contract, which I thought I wanted 3 years. And I was happy at Sundowns Pops. I mean, one guy that I was very close with, Jos Mahulejo, may his soul rest in peace. Also one guy, I was a defender coming in, taking his place or so, but he never showed that to say jealousy. He was motivating me, he was encouraging me. We had a good competitive competition in terms and honesty. He was a true legend or true professional in terms of, even if you take my position, I'm gonna support you.
Sure.
When I left Sundowns Pubs, that Muna would phone me before Chiefs game in the bus on my way to the stadium. After the game, he'll say, Taga, you did 1, 2, 3, 4. What's wrong? But now and then he'll just say, hey man, you played like that. There's no excuse. But same like Neil Johnson, guys that will advise you, want to help you, want to improve you. Isaac Shai, we still close. He was my roommate. You know, John Tlale, Membush. you know, you name them.
Hey, you played with the
It was a
greats, man.
good-
You played with the
good
greats. Yeah.
Chuku, obviously, you know, Roger. Perhaps my first day at Sundowns, we played 11v11. So they played me with the first team. I think Clement Vestov was the coach.
Sure.
He called me. He said to me, no, I asked them, I said, I was looking for a tsotsi, or, you know, a clever in terms of playing at the back and what. So they said, no,
Yeah.
you are the guy, and I watch your videos. I signed you. Roger was saying to me, hey, young man, pass me the ball. Even if you see 5 guys behind me, just pass me the ball. That's now halftime of that game where we played, because when I see there's 1-2 guys on him, I rather play it long and then play it short. And then second half, he came to me and said, young man, don't worry, trust me. Play me the ball. They won't come back to you. I'll find my way. So I said, hey, this Grootman, what is he saying? And then, you know me, Pops, I just followed instructions. Played him the ball, kill 1-2 guys with just a turn or a pass, then carry on. He said, you see, I told you, give me the ball. Don't kick it to Chuku. I'll pass Chuku or Membush, you know, to score and that. But going to Chiefs, obviously, my childhood team, you know, support them. While I was in Freiburg playing for Anderlecht, we had a group of guys, family. This uncle, my father's brother, also, I think he made me support Chiefs because he was a big Chiefs supporter. My parents were Pirate supporters, believe it or not. You know, and my eldest brother was a Sundowns supporter, which that time I liked the way Sundowns were playing. You know,
Shushan and
Piano, all those things, and I supported Chiefs. It finally happened because, as I said to you, the guys wanted me to come back straight after the Olympics. Krima was talking. You know, I even had a meeting with the Chiefs people in Southgate at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Remember, Patko was there. Neil Tovey was assistant coach or so. I met Brasten. So, yeah, the deal never happened. And then the time I wanted to leave Sundowns, obviously they were aware of it. And then they said, no, come and see us. And obviously I showed them to say, look, this is what Sundowns is offering me. I mean, Pops, in a space of 30 minutes, Pops, they came down. Brake was in the office upstairs. He came back. He just scratched. And he wrote there to say, look, we give you 3 years. We give you so much accommodation allowance. We give you this option. We give you that.
Yeah.
So I asked him, when can I sign? He said, what? He said, no, go look. I said, no, when can I sign? He said, are you sure you're leaving? I said, my contract is finishing with Sundowns in September. And I started negotiating from March. So they refused. Pops, I signed, I think my last month in Sundowns, I signed the contract. So now Natasha and them, they found out. They suspended me from training with the team.
Sure.
They told Pondas, was the coach then, not to
Pondas
play
Reco,
me.
yeah.
Not to play me. So I reported every morning up until they gave me a letter to say, look, I'm not welcome here. I must return all the kit because, you know, the season just started and everything. All those things, I did it, Pops. And I went to Chiefs. After they find out what the Chiefs' offer was, they wanted to better it. And said to me, look, this is it. I said to her, you know, ma'am, thanks, but no thanks. I already signed for Chiefs. You know, I didn't do a Papin Bele where I signed for both teams and what. And then, obviously, you know, getting to Chiefs, I think Tlantla Kubeka was wearing the number 6. They asked me, the kid guy, what number I would like. I said, you know, Celtics, they gave me 16. Obviously, Benjamin Reed, Willem Jackson just left. They gave me number 16. Willem Fries was number 6, you know, senior players. They came to Chiefs, 16. Brian was wearing number 6. Tlantla has it. I think somebody was wearing number 26. I don't know who was it. And then I said, ish, the last one I can get is 36. So I said to the team manager, now give me 36. Then I said, hey, let me approach this Moon number to say, you know, give me this number. And it so happened that he wanted number 19 because obviously Lucas Hadebe, they groom him to say he'll take over from him. And It happened. He said, "Look, boss, no problem.
6.
Take the number 6. We got the kid guy in to negotiate, and then we sorted it out." So,
Man. Fabs, your ultimate starting 11.
Pops,
I know it's going to be quite a difficult one because for me, I always just say that under 23 squad. That under 23 squad would become my ultimate starting 11. And I had follows. So, who becomes your ultimate starting 11?
it's a tough one. You know, you speak of Celtics, you talk of Sundowns, you're talking Chiefs, Swallows, Marisburg, Aces. You know, not really, because obviously I never had time to spend and play with the guys there. But look, the Olympic team, you know, at the back, myself, Matthew, left hand side, David Kanamea, on the right, you go Skoko, Temba Mguni, you know, going into the middle, Chabulani Mendu. You know, it's a guy where, as stubborn as he is, I enjoy playing with him because he listens, he trusts you, he follows instructions, and he can see and read, understand the situation. With him, I'll play Fortune, Quentin Fortune. In front of them, I'll play the late John Shoes Mushwell. On the right, you know, perhaps it's two per position. You must forgive me. I'll play Stiga. You know, shuffle there. On the left, I'll play Delron Barkley. Anytime, any place.
Educated left footer.
Dylan Shepherd. You know, going up front. You know, this one sounds a bit out of somewhere. But I'll play Sean Bartlett and Basuma. If I can play two. You know?
Sean Bartlett and Mbazuma. That's an interesting pairing up front. That is an interesting pairing up front. You and I can talk. There's still a lot.
But there's another two that I must mention if I had a choice to choose strikers. You know, obviously Benny, it's Henry at Pirates. I think he got me into getting a red card, Zuma, in the Rotmans Cup because I was trying to say, hey, this Muna is hard,
he's quick,
he's difficult, he's quick, he's got pace, he's got skill, he's good in the air. You know, I tried to kick him out of the game. I went out for red card. So it's difficult perhaps to pick a team of that. But those teams that you mentioned, that's where team spirit, you know, unity was there, and you enjoy your game.
You're a Man United supporter.
I won't change.
You're a Man United
Even
supporter.
if players come and go, coaches go, pups,
Coaches come and go.
I'll stay a United supporter.
Vodacom Challenge. Chiefs plays Man United.
Twice. Where? Cape Town or Pretoria?
You know, I'm going to take you to this one. Chiefs play Man United. It goes to penalties. And I didn't know it then, but I know it now. I think you missed that penalty on purpose.
No, I didn't.
Fee.
No, Pops.
You got
No.
This is the third penalty. Because the first penalty Man United missed.
Yeah. No, just I kick second. I always kick the second.
You took the second?
Yeah.
Yeah, they missed the first penalty.
Yeah.
Who
I think Mabedi scored because he was
the first
number
penalty.
One,
Mabedi scores the first penalty. Man United scores, and then you come up. Man.
I didn't do it on purpose, Pops.
You're a Man United supporter, Joe.
That goes out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, how was it like, you know, for you as a Man United supporter, you know, to come up against, you know, your childhood team? You're playing for your childhood team locally, that is, and then you come up against, that team.
Pops, there's 2 pictures I still have on my phone. It's the one with Ryan Giggs
Sure.
and the one with Paul Scholes. I post it now and then. And I had the opportunity to change with 2 guys T-shirts. Obviously, the first one, you know, you go for the number. You don't look at the name on top.
Yeah.
It's Wes Brown. I got his jersey in Cape Town. And in Pretoria, believe it or not, they were not supposed to change it. But I swapped jerseys with Patrice Evra.
They were not supposed to swap jerseys.
The manager or whoever there was fuming, was cross because they lost.
Oh,
So
yeah.
They were not supposed to change it. He said to me, my friend, take this jersey. I don't care what these people are saying. You are a brother. We've been playing for, 2-3 games together. Take this jersey. And you know what I did with that jersey, Pops? I gave it to David Kanamea because I know he was a fan of the guy. And, we swapped. He gave me another jersey. But, Pops, that day, if you look at Foster, I'm always telling my son, if that Muna plays, I said, I couldn't beat this guy with a penalty.
Sure.
And if you can recall it, he dived to his left and I went to his right. But unfortunately, I hit the upright.
That pole, man.
I hit the upright. And I think Monib saved one of my penalties in Cape Town when Ajax played Chiefs.
Yeah.
I don't know who else saved it, but Pops, I hardly miss penalties. And I go the same direction. I know, if you are my outie and you know me as keepers, I'm going to go there. If you don't dive in front of the ball before I kick, you're going to save it. But if you wait for me to kick first and then dive, you're not going to save it.
Peace.
Emil, one day at training, I took him out of the team that weekend. I had his rest because he was diving before I kicked. But still the ball went in. So I didn't do it on purpose, my friend. I wanted to score.
Yeah.
And, I was so happy when Rowan saved another penalty after that.
And then he scored the last.
He scored again, yeah. And
Yeah.
I remember Chiefs Sundowns, my first official penalty was in the cup game, Chiefs Sundowns, FNB, old FNB, where Charles Mutui was slapped by Membush. I took the fourth penalty before Manzini went up to us because Charles Mutui was supposed to take a penalty. And that was the first day I got face-to-face with Brian. And I scored.
I still say this. You retired too early.
I didn't want to retire, Pops.
You retired too early, Joe. I mean, Bele is still playing. And this is somebody that you played with at 41 years old. The late shoes.
Hey, but that Muna was smoking something.
The late shoes as well. He retired at the age of 40, 41. I mean, you're speaking about gigs right now. You retired at what, 39, 38 or so. Fabs, you retired too early.
Pops, unfortunately, this game, it's dependent on sometimes your fate or your destination is in somebody's hands to decide and do things or make the call. But for me, I think I'll agree with you there. And then one thing I regret is I wanted to, I should have gotten married while I was at Chiefs at that peak of my, followed a simple, honest, straight routine. And I think that's what Quentin Fortune said, what made Alex Ferguson so successful. Because when he joined United, he had to get married. Remember David Beckham with Victoria? Fergie had a problem with it. PK, I'm saying the reason why he didn't stay at Man United, he was busy with Shakira, where there's a show, he get on a flight, he goes there. And Fergie didn't want that. Fergie wanted you to be settled, married. That's why you see that class of Beckham and them. I think Beckham is the last one to get married in that group. Yeah. But that's the part of how he managed that United team. The senior guys, the juniors, or the newcomers to say, you need to settle down, you need to do this. So for me, that was a thing, Pops. I wanted to finish at Chiefs. I thought I was worth another 2 seasons at least to call it quits, call it a day. But unfortunately, the way it happened, which, it took some time for me to accept it, to make peace with it and you know, just get it off my
Let it go.
chest and let it go. After that, I mean, I went to Swallows. They gave me the same contract I had at Chiefs. The money was good. 2 years with a 1 year option. You know, just that if you play so many games, those things also. But I couldn't find happiness at Swallows for some reason.
Sure.
I only stayed 18 months. And I said, look, coach, if you don't want me, I'm not going to leave December or June. Let me leave now. You know, I left. I went to Maritzburg, obviously, Mandenop. I signed 2 seasons,
And you had
1
played with
season
him. You had
with
played
the
under him
option.
at Chiefs.
You know what I'm saying? And then obviously from the bosses or management, there were some problems that comes along. I got married in 2010, which, you know, I thought the team was then also fighting relegation. And there was miscommunication between me, the manager, the owner, the coach, where they were saying to me, look, if you go for your wedding or for rehearsals, we'll pay you for the flights. You can go and come back this time and that time. But then it happened. And I went to Aces, not to play for Aces, but there to support Dolaza, to try and get him out of that relegation or you know, position he was in. Just to see that people around him were not supporting him. They were not sharing the same vision as him, to say, look, perhaps he's a coach, he'll play 3-5-2, even in his grave, you know, or whenever he passed away. He believed in SS League or your ABC. I went straight to the PSL. I refused to play NFD because I'm one person, perhaps, if I'm not happy, even if the benefits are what, I'm not going to do it just for the money. You know, I want to be happy. I have to enjoy myself. I have to go to work with a smile, you know, and all those things. So I refused to play. I tried Super Sport, wanted to get in there, get in that team, but obviously for some reason or the other, like you said, I could have still played another 2-3 seasons. So there's all those things. But I think I'm happy with my career. I played, I never broke to keep fit active.
Let's actually come and watch one of those games. We must come and watch those games. Right now, I know you've gone on to coaching. This is the next chapter in terms of, you know, Fabian Mccarthy, the player. You've got your CAF coaching B license. You can basically coach right now. But I guess it's, as you say, politics once again, and you've been playing the patient game. You know, you've been playing the patient game and everything else. We're seeing a lot of young coaches come up right now. I mean, Benny Mccarthy, we're also excited about where he is right now with Cape Town City. You've got Peter Musimani as well, doing very well. You've got, you know, guys like Eric Tinkler, you know, who did very well, Roger Design, all those kind of things. You are very much in the development stages, you know, coaching development guys. You're still developing as a coach and everything else. Do we get to see Fabian Mccarthy coach in Europe, even though you never got to play in Europe?
Yo, Pops, look, obviously, as a player, you want to go to Europe or so. But for me as a coach, I'm not looking that far. I'm looking first here at home. I've been asking, sending CVs, speaking to, look, Benny since last year or so. And I'm saying, look, I'm not going to force people to give me a chance and opportunity. But I'm
let it happen on merit.
I'm coaching at schools. I'm planning now to go do my UEFA license in Ireland, God willing, May, June, you know, for the course, that B course. And perhaps I'm saying if that door is going to open in terms of being a coach or joining a coach at a certain team in the PSL also, which is where one wants to coach. You mentioned Penny, Fadlu Davis, Atazwani, these guys. It's my
Those are your peers.
same WhatsApp group, you know, we went for courses together. They have the opportunity, they are there. But I'm saying, if I'm ready, I'm not saying I'm ready to coach a PSL team, no. I'm paying my dues, I'm crawling, you know, I'm at school level, I'm here. Perhaps I don't just want to be a coach. I want to give boys an opportunity. I want to change a former or a potential soccer player or professional athlete, I want to change the mindset now already to say, this is the way to go.
Sure.
Don't go there, don't go there, don't go to. And I'm saying if that door opens for me to coach in the PSL or NFD, it's not somebody that's going to close it again after 6 months. You know how the coaching goes in our country and you know, stuff like that. So if the opportunity comes, if it's there, I'm prepared to go. I've been sending my CV even starting from this year. I'm still sending my CV out.
Sure.
I send you my CV also, Paps, you know. So for me is, I'm saying to my guy, Jabulani Mendu, and other cousin of mine, Rene Mccarthy is in Northwest. He was with Platinum Stars for 5 years. You know, his contract just finished. I said, no, hang in there. When we get something, let's go together. Let's do it, you know. And if we stick together, Paps, that's what they do in Europe. Form a team. If this is your squad, if
You
one say, Jens, you guys go, I'll stay, no, then it's not part of you. But now already, I'm finding that, you know, that goalkeeper coach, that Jabulani Mendu is there, Dugu Dugu is there, this one is there, this one. So if you get that chance to say that this is the guys I'm going with, then this thing of firing coaches after 3, 4, 5 games won't happen. Because then now, you have to fire the whole team.
You got to fire the entire technical
You see,
squad.
that's how they roll in Europe. Why can't we do it here? Here's about, hey, I'm safe. Even if they fire the coach, yeah, I can take over. So, but then you know for yourself, you don't have what it takes to take over.
Coach.
So, perhaps I would love to coach in the PSL or even NFD or so, and I'm ready. I'm just busy with the school now in Senton,
Sure.
where I'm gonna take over. Hopefully, I just want to make an impact in terms of the coaching at the school and at that level to change the mindset, because I feel like whatever impact you want to make on individuals, do it while they're at school. But you can't do it while they're at varsity or something like that.
Yeah.
And I want to give boys the opportunity, perhaps, to study. You know, they say footballers don't go to school, footballers don't do this. Look, some of us, some guys are studying. Some of us, the opportunity is there, but we don't make use of it. Some of us doesn't want to take it.
Sure.
But if you make it a point and say, Jens, this is the way, here's the bursary, go study, go play football, and decide afterwards. So I think that's where I'm penetrating in. That's where I want to see a boy has a diploma, 3 years, go to professional, 2 years. If he doesn't want to play anymore, come back, you pick up the phone, you say, if he wants to do media, perhaps there's a guy here, you know,
Sure.
set him up so that he can be well balanced, you know. So yeah, I'm busy with that, Pap, and hopefully I'm ready. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, but I don't know somebody to open the door for me. And after 2 months, he closed the door again.
Yeah,
I mean, you hear what?
Played for 6 clubs in his professional career. You scored 6 goals.
I didn't count the goals, Paps. If you counted that, then...
Four achieves. Maris, you've been through celebrations.
Yeah.
Go.
No, it's only that 2, Paps.
As I say, you had a very illustrious career. You know, you can be counted amongst the greats to have ever played for this country. As a coach, we wait, you know, for when Coach Fabian Mccarthy lifts the PSL Championship, gets a CAF Champions League gold medal. That is, I mean, you have a silver as a player, but the gold will come as a coach. You know, we wait patiently for when that door opens itself for you to go and coach a national team. But I know right now the work that you are doing, you know, in terms of laying the foundation and everything else, you're laying a very solid one, and that is one that started way back in Freiburg when you were starting out as a player. Fabes, we wish you all the best. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're still very active. This man looks like he can still play for a team. And I'm gonna take you up on the offer. I need to come and train with you one of these days.
No, sure, bro. If you wanna come, you're welcome.
I need to come and train with you one of these days. So
then you will judge me and see if I can make it as a coach or so. But I think, you know, as a coach, Paps, you don't need to be the main man. You know, I'm saying a good coach is somebody that can make a difference in an ordinary player's game, his life, and his attitude. You know, not a coach that gets Ronaldo. What are you going to add to Ronaldo or to Messi? All you can do is motivate him also. But
Manage them, basically.
I think
That's
a
what you can
coach, a coach is somebody that can take an ordinary guy, turn him into a better person. Not only a better player. I'm talking holistically. The person. I want to change the person. I want to give an opportunity to that one person, because I know from that one, it's going to rub off.
On the
You know, in Mccarthy, one boy in the street, next street he'll get two, other street, you know, his circle is big.
Sure.
So you target that one and you change it. Not only football, I'm talking holistically, Paps, and I think that's what we're lacking as mainly soccer players or sports people in general in Zanzibar. Yeah, but look, my brother, hopefully when I'm a coach and there'll be a trophy here, if you stay in your lane, if you continue with what you're doing, we're definitely gonna do this again. And
no, we will. No, we will.
Hopefully, when we grade and we can recall and say, hey, we that station, that station, that.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm saying it's a relationship. You know, you don't just come across people and just do things oneself and stuff like that. So yeah, no, sure. Thanks out.
Fabian Ainsley Mccarthy, that's his name. Coach Faber. We definitely do look forward, to seeing him on the benches of one of the big teams in the PSL, that is. I actually would love to see you coach in Europe. We don't have any South African coaches that have gone on to coach in Europe, but we'd love to see you coaching in Europe as well. But hey, that's where we're going to leave it for today at the Open Book right here on K Radio, Radio for the People. Thank you so much. Hola.
It was long, chance.
Your story.
The way.
What's his name? Yo.
Can we put off?
Yeah.
Is this lights, nah? Look here.